Welcome to our show, International Student Brief. Today, we dive into the latest developments in Australia regarding international students. The coalition has reaffirmed its commitment to imposing stricter caps on foreign students at elite universities, raising eyebrows as they continue to dismiss Labor's attempts to limit overseas student numbers. With the government planning to slow down visa processing for universities nearing their student targets, concerns about Australia's appeal as a study destination are on the rise. In another twist, the federal government is looking to implement a go-slow approach to visa processing. Once universities reach 80% of their proposed caps, further applications will face delays. This decision comes after criticism of previous measures affecting regional universities, and while Universities Australia welcomes the change, they warn it could still impact the education sector negatively. The goal? To manage student numbers while addressing feedback from the education community. And in a heartwarming story, Mary Jane Veloso, a Filipino migrant worker who spent nearly 15 years on death row in Indonesia, is finally set to return home. This miraculous turn of events follows a deal between the Philippines and Indonesia, as she maintained her innocence throughout her ordeal. While her future remains uncertain, her return marks a significant moment for her family and highlights the complexities of international legal agreements. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage. The Sydney Morning Herald reports that the coalition has reaffirmed its commitment to imposing stricter caps on foreign students at major universities, specifically targeting institutions like Sydney and Melbourne. However, the coalition has yet to provide a clear plan on how these caps will be implemented, leading to criticism from the government and other stakeholders. In response to these challenges, the federal government has decided to slow down the processing of student visa applications once universities reach a certain enrollment target, a move that aims to level the playing field among educational institutions. The group of 8 universities have expressed concern over this new policy, arguing that it could deter potential international students from choosing Australia as their study destination. According to the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, the government is employing a go-slow approach to visa processing as a workaround to manage international student numbers without imposing hard caps. Under this new directive, immigration officials will prioritize student visa applications until universities hit 80% of their enrollment caps, after which processing will slow down. This approach aims to balance the needs of universities while controlling the influx of international students, particularly as net overseas migration figures are expected to rise. Critics have noted that this method lacks the legislative support that would have been provided by the previously proposed caps, which were rejected by the coalition. The Sydney Morning Herald further details that Labor is determined to implement its plan to limit international student numbers despite the political hurdles posed by the coalition. The new ministerial direction aims to reduce student enrollments by 53,000 compared to the previous year, while also addressing the disparities created by earlier visa processing directives that disproportionately affected regional universities. As the government navigates these complex issues, stakeholders from the education sector are hopeful that the changes will foster a more equitable environment for all institutions, allowing them to attract a diverse range of international students and reduce reliance on specific markets, particularly China. Deutsche Welle reports that Germany's Christmas markets, renowned for their festive charm, are now facing heightened security concerns following a tragic terrorist attack in Berlin in 2016. With the markets drawing in thousands of visitors from around the globe, authorities have ramped up security measures to ensure the safety of attendees. While many revelers are eager to soak in the holiday spirit, the lingering fear of potential threats has prompted discussions about the balance between enjoying the festive atmosphere and maintaining vigilance. The atmosphere at these markets is a blend of joy and caution, as families and tourists navigate the twinkling lights and the scent of mulled wine amidst increased police presence. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation highlights the impending replacement of a controversial visa processing direction that has stirred discontent within the university sector. Ministerial Direction 107, which prioritized visa applications for students from lower-risk institutions, has left smaller universities struggling as they face delays in processing. Education Minister Jason Clare has faced criticism for this blunt instrument, which has disproportionately affected regional universities. As the government prepares to unveil a new directive aimed at creating a fairer system, university leaders express hope for a more equitable approach that recognizes the vital role international students play in sustaining the higher education landscape in Australia. The Guardian shares the heartwarming story of Mary Jane Veloso, a Filipino migrant worker who is set to return home after nearly 15 years on death row in Indonesia. Convicted of drug trafficking in 2010, Veloso has always maintained her innocence, claiming she was tricked into carrying drugs. Her release is seen as a miracle, especially for her family, who have long awaited her return. The emotional reunion is anticipated at Manila Airport, where her family is eager to embrace her after years of separation. Veloso's journey has been fraught with legal battles and diplomatic negotiations, but her story resonates deeply with many who empathize with the struggles of overseas workers facing exploitation and injustice. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.